a piece of legislation in the name of Deputy Catherine Murphy and Roisin Shortall. Media Ownership Bill. And can I call on the deputies to move for leave to introduce the bill?
I seek leave to introduce the bill and essentially recognising the importance of a free and pluralistic media and its vital place within a vigorous and vibrant democracy is the basis of this bill. You'd have to have been living under a rock to be completely unaware of the increasing fears regarding the freedom of press and the escalation of fake news and dubious facts. One of the safest ways to mitigate against fake news or partisan reporting is to do everything in our power to protect the diversity of ownership of the media landscape. This issue has been one which has raised its head over decades, going back to the early 1970s. In 1973, the NUJ expressed concerns regarding media plurality, and there have been various flashpoints over the years. However, nothing has effectively changed our ever-increasing concentration of ownership into the hands of a smaller and smaller number of hands. At the moment, we are awaiting a decision on whether or not INM will be allowed to proceed with the Celtic Media acquisition, a move which would see INM increase significant dominance in the print media and effectively control the bulk of regional newspapers across the island of Ireland. The BAI, in what can only be described as a curious move, approved the acquisition, and now the Minister has put it out for public consultation before making a final decision. I say it was a curious decision for the BAI because if you look at the Media Merger Guidelines 2015, you will see a reference to significant interest, a significant interest test, and the notion of the public interest not being served by allowing any one individual or undertaking to hold above 20% of the stake in the media business. Yet the majority shareholder in INM holds in excess of 20%, laid down because the guidelines were regulated to be applied for the future shareholdings only. It is worth noting that the majority shareholder in INM is also the owner of Communicore Group, the company which owns the vast majority of radio stations outside the public service broadcaster. My own experience during the SiteServe controversy and the ensuing media blackout on my speech, apart from broadsheet.ie and then the Sunday Times and Village magazine, really brought into focus to me the acute need for an impartial and fearless media. The fact that someone with such dominance of ownership could also effectively chill other outlets outside his control really made a stark point. Of course, there have been stories from former employees of INM and Communicore that ownership influence on editorial content, etc. And they're the very reasons the issue is of utmost importance. This bill seeks to rebalance the media landscape in a way which reconstitutes a media plurality in Ireland, which has the potential to be compromised by the ability of some key players, and there's an increasing small number of additional ones, to gain a larger than 20% stake in media businesses in the country. We cannot be complacent in assuming that what has happened in other countries and what is currently happening re fake news and powerful interests controlling the public debate cannot happen here. It most certainly can, unless we take significant and forceful steps to ensure it doesn't. Thank you.
Deputy Murphy, is the bill being opposed? It's not being opposed. The motion for leave to introduce is therefore agreed. Could I ask Deputy Murphy to move that the second stage be taken private member's time?
I so move.
You so move. The debate is therefore adjourned in accordance with standing orders to be taken the next day in which private members' business is to be taken in accordance with Standing Order 147.4. We move on.